They didn't break into a country. They ran from fear. Some people buy citizenship. Others risk everything just to live. This isn't about politics. It's about people. I used to think home was a place, a flag, a passport, a city you're born in. But after hearing real immigration stories, I realized home isn't a country. Home is safety. Home is belonging. Home is being able to sleep at night without fear. Suddenly, everything I thought I knew about immigration changed. I wasn't born an immigrant. I was born here, in a hospital room with warmth, clean blankets, and smiling faces. I never worried about visas or whether I belonged. America wasn't a dream to me. It was just life. But my parents? They came separately. My dad arrived first with 2 suitcases and a student visa. My mom followed years later. They met here, worked hard, and built everything from nothing. I was born later, already standing on solid ground. But growing up, I met people who weren't that lucky, and their stories stayed with me forever. Her name was Amina. Quiet, polite, the kind of woman who apologized even if someone bumped into her. One afternoon, while waiting in line at a clinic, she told me about her hometown. There was a bridge there, hundreds of years old. It wasn't just stone. It was history. Lovers met on it. Kids played under it. Elders prayed near it. The city was proud of that bridge. Then the war came. One morning, soldiers placed explosives under it. And just like that, it collapsed. Not because it was strategic, not because it blocked armies, but because it represented the wrong people. Her husband was later sent to a camp. He survived, but he was never the same. He woke up screaming at night. He flinched at loud noises. He smiled less every year, until one day, he just stopped smiling. He died 8 years later. Amina escaped with her kids. When she finished telling me her story, she didn't cry. She just said, "I miss a home that doesn't exist anymore." That sentence never left me. Then there was Lily. She came to America when she was 2. She doesn't remember her homeland. She doesn't remember the plane ride. She doesn't remember being adopted. America is all she's ever known. She speaks English, thinks in English, dreams in English. But her face tells a different story. At school, kids would stretch their eyes and say, "Go back to where you came from." One day she said, "I don't know where that is." And honestly, neither does she. She grew up skiing, running track, getting good grades, just like everyone else. But somehow, people still treated her like she didn't belong. She once said, "I didn't choose America, but I'm grateful it chose me." Then I met Samuel. He was always smiling, always. People used to ask him, "Why are you always so happy?" He said, "Because I get to eat until I'm full." That sentence hit me. Back home, food wasn't guaranteed. Sometimes he went to bed hungry. Sometimes his younger siblings cried themselves to sleep. Now, he lived in a college dorm, ate all he wanted, studied engineering, smiled every day. But he never shook hands. Ever. One day, I asked why. Slowly, he pulled his hand from his pocket. 2 fingers were gone. He said nothing. Then, quietly, "I don't like remembering." He lost them protecting his little brother during violence back home. Still, he said, "To be American, I will learn to shake hands." I'll never forget that. Then there was Sophia. She joined the military at 17. Not because she loved war, but because she loved safety. Her parents fled their country when gangs started killing people. 2 of her uncles never made it out. Sophia grew up in America, went to school, learned English, helped her parents survive. She joined the army. She wore the uniform. She took the oath. She became a citizen. Her parents? Still undocumented. Still cleaning offices at night. Still afraid of deportation. Still grateful, because at least here, they were alive. She once said, "I fight for a country that hasn't decided if my parents belong." That line felt heavier than armor. Then I learned something shocking. Some people can buy citizenship. $500,000 invested in the right business, and suddenly, borders disappear. Meanwhile, others hide in trucks, cross deserts, sleep in cages, run from police, get deported, come back again, and again, and again. Because their kids are here. Because hunger is worse than fear. Because danger is worse than deportation. Because home is no longer where they were born. It's where their kids sleep. Miguel crossed the border 6 times. 5 times he was caught. 5 times he was deported. Every time he came back. Why? Because his wife and 3 kids live in America. Because they only speak English. Because their school is here. Because their future is here. Because hunger waits for him back home. He once said, "They can deport my body, but my heart already lives here." Here's what people don't understand. Immigration isn't about stealing jobs. It isn't about breaking laws. It isn't about politics. It's about a mom choosing between starvation and danger, a dad choosing between prison and separation, a child choosing between fear and hope, even if hope is illegal. Some people flee war, some flee poverty, some flee persecution, some flee death. But they all come chasing the same thing: safety, dignity, a future. One woman told me, "I didn't move to America. I escaped into it." That sentence shattered me, because I realized something. When you've never feared bombs, borders, hunger, gangs, or soldiers, you think immigration is paperwork. When you've lived through those things, immigration is survival. People say, why don't they stay and fix their own countries? Let me ask you this. If your child was starving, would you wait for the government to improve? Or would you run? If your daughter was being hunted, would you fill out forms? Or would you cross borders? If your home became a graveyard, would you stay loyal to soil or loyal to life? Immigrants are not invaders. They're survivors. They're builders. They're dreamers. They're people who refused to let fear win. And maybe, just maybe, the real American dream isn't about coming here. It's about believing life can be better somewhere else, and being brave enough to chase it. If this story moved you, share it, because someone out there is living it.